Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to start with our warm-ups as always. So starting with our head and neck, drawing our chin to our chest and lifting back up. And as we're standing here, find a comfortable position with your feet. Let the weight fall into the bubbling well, or think about it as being even between your big toe and your little toe and the inside and outside of your heel. Find that balance. Let's do one or two more of these. We always end by drawing our chin to our chest and then back to neutral, and then gazing over each shoulder. Just like single whip, side to side, kind of undoing all that looking at the screens, but never pushing too hard. Just naturally letting the body expand and open, releasing any tension in the shoulders, finding a natural, even breath. One more round, and then we'll come back to center. Let's link it all together. So chin to chest, ear to shoulder, dropping the head back and around, ear to the other shoulder, chin to chest. Moving at your own pace. Take a moment to connect with your breath. Maybe noticing how it changes when you lift your chin up towards the sky. When you come with your chin to the chest this time, let's rotate the other direction. Let your shoulders hang down. And just relax. One more circle. Ending with the chin to the chest. And then lifting back up. Okay, let's move into the shoulders, okay? So always just using the shoulders back, up, and around. Really rotating. And you can always do as little or as much arm movement as you want. So if it feels good and you want to do full circles, feel free. If you want to switch it up and do a couple like this and then move back, whatever feels good. And then we'll go the other direction. So we'll go forward, up, back, and down. And again, a little arm movement or a lot, or switch it up and add in a couple of arm circles. And then maybe do one more. And then we're gonna let them find that neutral position. So maybe shake the arms out so then you don't feel like, you jack the shoulders back too far. Okay. Elbows and shoulders, right? So we hold the arms out, and this is working on our ward off, waves hand, kicking arms, everything. So rotate from your elbows. So coming down, ward off up, rotate out to the side, and come down. And just move at your own pace. So we're using this rotation to warm up the joints, but we're also working on some of our Tai Chi movements, right? So this should feel like you're kicking arms. This should feel like you're ward off or your hug a tree, always keeping your back rounded. Let's end on the outside, and then we're gonna come inside. So we're gonna press down, rotate out, rotate the arms, and this is a pressing down. Good, nice circles using your elbows. Let's do a couple more. So why do I include this all the time? This is our brush knee. This is our wave hands. This is our every movement, ward off right. We're always using our elbows. Last one, maybe pressing down. Okay, wrists. So we can just rotate and just rotate the wrist, or we can get more elbow work by flaring them in together. So whatever feels good, and then we'll go the other direction. And again, that would be up and out if you wanted to include the elbows and wrists together. And then we'll shake the arms out, and we're gonna do our waist next. So find that stable position in your legs. As we do this movement, we do not want our legs to close. We wanna keep our crotch rounded, keep ourselves stable. You can hold and hug a tree and just move from side to side, or let your arms swing and look back behind you. Whatever feels good, but I want you to find the connection to your middle body here. So turning, rotating, keeping your base, your legs stable. Good. And then we're just gonna slowly ease off and come back to center. Good. I've really noticed a difference with everyone during those right now. You guys are really finding your root and your base. It's nice to see. So let's work on our hips next. So hands on the hips or at the side, and we're going to rotate from one side out and around. So everyone should be kind of familiar with these warm-ups. We do the same ones every time. So again, let your arms hang if that feels good. Large circles, little circles. One more this direction, and then we're going to go the other way. And as you're doing these, don't forget about your breath. Take this time, focus in on your breathing, relax your body. That breath is what's going to get us through the kicking section. Okay, one more circle, and then we'll ease back to center, and we'll work on the knees and ankles. So always two options. You can have your feet together, hands on your knees, and circle if that feels good. Or you can be standing up and do the knee and ankle circle this way, one leg at a time. Personal preference, include both if you'd like. We go one direction and then the other. And if we're on one leg, we're going to switch legs, find our balance. Rotate the other one. Other direction. Maybe you move to your both knees and ankles together. That's fine. All right. Good. Let's do one more balancing thing. So let's work on our balance. So find stability on one leg, and we're going to lift up and open to the side. So working on our hips, and you can lift and hold. If that feels good, you can have an arm out, or just keep dropping down. You can do little circles here. You don't have to lift very high to get any sort of mobility in the hip here. We're just opening it up, helping our kicks and our balance. Focus on your breath. One more, and then we're going to go to the other side. Placing that foot on the ground, find your balance. Lifting up, opening. And again, you can hold if that feels good. Find your balance. You can hold underneath too, or just keep moving. And again, it doesn't matter the height. You can get the same thing here by keeping it low as you would if you came up high. Couple more circles. And then we'll put the leg down. And let's just shake it out. So shake your whole body, whatever feels good. So if you just want to shake, or if you want to draw the shoulders up and really throw everything down, let's just get the energy flowing. Good. Yes. Okay. Yes, Marion, that's it. All right, feeling warmed up now? All right, let's review. So let's go do the whole section, get our full flow in, start at cross hands, and go all the way through to the parry, block, and punch that we ended with last week. Then we'll see if there's any questions. And today we're going to work on the right heel kick and the first strike tiger, okay? So I'm going to turn and face the other direction so we move in the same way from crossed hands. Take a moment, look at your feet, relax your waist down, heads lifting up, shoulders drop. Right arms on the outside. Just take a deep breath. Shift your weight. Embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. And push. Fist under elbow. Transitioning just like single whip. Push out to the side. Step, ward off. Fist under elbow. Repulse monkey, number 1. 2, natural step back. And 3, one arm forward, one back. Diagonal flying. Nice step, splitting energy. Raise hands and step forward. White crane spreads its wings. Brush knee and push. Needle at the C bottom. Half step in. Empty stance on the toes. Change to the ball of the foot. Fan through the back. Bow stance. Turn body. Chop with fist. Parry, block, and punch. Grasping the bird's tail. Ward off right. Roll back. Press. And push. Single whip. Wave hands like clouds. Number 1. Shoulder width. Then double wide. Shoulder width. Double wide. Last one to the corner. Single whip. High pat on horse. Empty stance on the ball of the foot. Separation kicks. Open up the arms. Cross step. Separate. Close the arms. Stand up. Look. Kick. Bend the knee. Change the arms. Sitting down. Cross. Separate the arms. Close the arms. Stand up. Look. Kick. Turning to your right. Straighten the leg. Turn. Touching down if you'd like. Stand up. Heel kick. Bend the knee. Brush knee. Right brush knee. punching down. Just like brush knee, except we make a fist at the hip, open, punching knee level. Turn body, chop with fist. Saving bow stance for your strike. Parry, block, and punch. Okay. It's a long section, right? Yes, I love seeing the bouncing. How's everyone doing so far? Wow, that's a lot of thumbs up today. Yes. Okay, any questions on anything we've worked on so far?
Quickly,
yes.
You go into parry, block, and punch from turning around. Do you step into an empty step first, right?
Do you mean chop with fist?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So when you do this, I'll do it from this direction. So after you punch down, when you come up and turn, when you relax and chop, you just have a little bit of weight on your foot. So you're connecting and you're saving the rest for your strike. So you chop, and it's kind of like an empty stance. It's not an empty stance because we're on two lines and we're going to go into a bow stance. But it's similar that you're saving everything for the rest of the movement. You're not going chop here and then nothing with your arm. You want to chop and put a little bit of weight into it, and then the rest is for the strike.
So you don't step into an empty stance?
No, you're stepping into a bow stance. So if I did it facing you, when I turn, so I turn, okay, and when I draw in, you see the two lines? So I'm chopping. I'm not chopping here. We're chopping, and it's gonna be a bow stance, but you're saving the weight to move forward when you strike. So your two lines, it'll feel kind of like an empty stance because your weight's not all the way forward, but the rest of it transfers for the strike.
So whenever you parry, you're in an empty stance, and whenever you strike, you're in a...
Whenever you chop.
Whenever you punch or chop, you're usually in a bow step.
Yes, you're usually in a bow step. Yes.
At least in parry.
But with this chopping is like somebody was at this point, say where the light is, right? See how I'm blocking the light? And then they move back to where the fireplace is. So then I go past. You see that difference of like I'm here and I try here and I'm in my empty stance, if you can see it here, okay? And then I move forward. So it's like I tried to get them with a chop, and then I have to move forward to gain that like distance, okay? Yes. That looked good. All right, good. That's a good question. Yeah, Karen. You're muted. Okay.
Just need to have a clarification because I get the two mixed up. On hand strums the loo, you end with an empty stance on the heel, but in needle at C bottom, you end with an empty stance on the ball of the foot.
Yes.
For some reason, I always think those should be the same. It's a similar type of movement, but it's opposite.
Well, so typically when you have an empty stance on the heel, you also see that in raised hands and step forward, okay? When we're in an empty stance on the heel, a lot of our time our body is open to the side direction. And when we're doing an empty stance on the toe, our body will be straight forward.
Oh, okay.
So like white crane spreads its wing is empty stance on your toes, and your body is straight forward. Needle at C bottom, toes, your body straight forward. Hand strums the lute is heel, your body's open to the side. Raise hands, heel, body's open to the side.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. That makes
You're welcome.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, those are the little things that over time you'll kind of put them together of like, oh, this is similar. Like I can put this with this, and then I know, so if my body's turned, then maybe it's on the heel. Or maybe it's straight and I'm on the toe. Good question. Very good question. I love these. Anyone else? Are we sure? We're going to go into our kicks. It's only one kick today. All right. So I'll demo one time and then we'll talk about the different parts. And we're just going to start with the kick before we move forward. So to go in the proper direction, we finished parry, block, and punch. Get a little bit closer so you can see. So we're going to do a normal transition like we would to grasping the bird's tail. You're going to see this a lot. So we're going to move back our weight. We're going to open our foot to the corner and we're going to come to ward off with our left arm, and our right fist is pointing diagonal. Our arm's going to circle up as we stand up, and we're going to come to our kicking arms, toes pointed down. We're looking straight. Then we come, lift the toes, and it's a right heel kick, and we bend the knee. Not too bad, right?
So from when you pull up your right foot as you step into that, it doesn't keep dragging on the floor or anything. It lifts from back and then it slowly draws in.
Yes, if your foot is dragging on the floor, your stance is too long, okay? So you're losing agility. So if my stance was too long and I moved back and I tried to turn, I would have to drag that foot across the floor to stand up. So when you're in this, you should be able to turn your foot, move your weight forward, and pick up. If you're dragging, shorten your stance, okay? There's a fine balance between agility and your practice, okay? Like, you want to have stability, you want to have a low stance, but you don't want to lose agility and the ability to move by lowering your stance too much, okay? So for this movement, the footwork, our left leg is forward, we're in a bow stance. So I want everyone to go into a bow stance, but then I want you to move your weight back and pick up your foot. Put it back down. Now, if you could do that, that means your stance is the right length for you. This movement requires us to move back a little bit of our weight. Then we turn our foot open to the corner direction. We then move our weight forward. Heel comes off the ground. We lift the leg and stand up. Okay, that's it. We're not going to do too much of the kicking. You guys know how to do a kick. I want you to work on the transition, okay? So we're in a stance. I'm facing you so you can see the body direction. We are straight, okay? Our body is square. Move back the weight. Turn your foot to the corner. Your body starts turning a little bit. As you lift up, don't forget to breathe, and your body turns to the corner direction. Good. We would then lift our toes and kick at whatever level is good for you and bend the knee. Great. Okay, how do we feel about just the footwork? Any questions on it? Okay, good. This one isn't too difficult, and the arm movements are similar to what we've already done, okay? Strike Tiger is where we're gonna be doing the work. So I'm gonna face you, and I'm gonna mirror you, okay? So we're in parry, block, and punch, okay? You move back your weight. You change your foot and change your arms. So you come into a ward-off position, and your right fist is going to be pointing down diagonal. Now, we don't want to have it out here. We don't want to have a lot of space. We want to be in a ward-off position, and your fist is pointing down. Because what's going to happen is this arm's just going to rotate and meet in a ward-off position as you stand up. Okay?
So this is a little different, even though they call it Chengfu or moving into the next thing, that you don't, the right hand is at a lower position than when we do Chengfu too after.
It's the same.
We're grasping the bird's tail. Oh, I thought that, okay.
I was demoing on the other side, so it probably went a little bit lower as I don't always practice that side, but it's the same position. So even if we were like from parry, block, and punch, and we went into grasping the bird's tail, this is the same movement. Okay, this is the same thing. We're connecting to our opponent. And then we're just gonna rotate your arm, open up the fist as you stand up. Good. So the arms. So we're in a, I guess my gray shirt isn't the best for this. We're still learning about the camera stuff here. So you're in the arms, okay? You connect and ward off. So have that nice ward off arm. Your fist is at an angle, okay? It's not pointing down, it's at an angle. And then you're gonna rotate and you're gonna open up the fist as you open up. And this should feel just like cross hands. Your right arm's on the outside. It should feel just like it. And then both arms rotate together as we kick. Good. How do we feel? Oh, Marion, look at that beautiful heel kick. Yes.
I feel a little bit better. I didn't quite know that about the circle. I've been doing the circling, but starting from a different place with my right hand. So.
Yeah, well, so just think about it like grasping the bird's tail. Okay, we're in our punch. We're parry, block, and punch. It's just like the transition of grasping the bird's tail, except this time you're going to leave your arm in the ward off and you're going to bring your other arm up to meet it. That's it. Let's see. Yes. Sam, you're doing great. Oh, man, everyone. You know what I love that I'm seeing is everyone's arms are even. When you guys are kicking, it's not like this. You have level arms, and that's very important when you do the kick, okay? So let's practice it a couple of times. So from parry, block, and punch, right fist, left foot forward. Your left palm is facing your forearm center. Your body square. Shift back a little bit of weight. Turn your foot. Show your ward off arm. Weight is forward now. Okay? Then as we move our weight forward, our right arm rotates. We stand up. We're looking straight ahead. Lift the toes. Heel kick. Bend the knee.
We're looking at 9 o'clock when we kick, right?
Yes, we're always looking
where we
over
kick.
Your palm. Yep.
And
look where you kick.
And the straight, the heel kicks are always to a straight direction.
Yes.
Okay, and so when you start moving into this move though, your gaze is at the corner until you drop your knee, is that right? Then your gaze goes to 9 o'clock?
Yes, so I'm looking, so my gaze isn't actually directly straight, okay? I'm actually looking where I'm striking. So see the difference of me looking over my fist versus me looking straight ahead? It's subtle, but it's there, okay? So I'm looking where I'm striking with my fist. I move back and then I'm looking at my ward off arm area. Then as I circle, I'm going to look to the kick direction and then kick. So you want to think about your gaze as to where the action is happening. So yes, I'm looking straight, but the action isn't happening right here. The action is happening here. Does that make sense? Now, these are little detail things, okay? And I want to draw you back. The details are very important, but what's most important is the big picture, okay? So don't get so lost in the details that you forget about the big picture of actually enjoying Tai Chi, enjoying the movements, okay? Everything else will come. Don't stress about the details. They will all come eventually, okay? I talk about the details of things because we have a variety of level of students in this class, but I want you to think about the total picture. Think about how the movement feels, okay? Do you feel balance as you shift forward to stand up for this kick, okay? Not just worrying about where you're looking, what your arms are doing. Focus on how you feel. Let the energy flow, okay? So let's do it again and just let it flow. So from parry, block, and punch, left leg forward, right arm punching. Move back your weight, turn your foot, showing ward off. Circle the arm, standing up, heel, kick, bend the knee. How did it feel that time? Did we relax?
You're coming up forward pretty quick. You're going up back and forward right away, it seems like.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're not gonna go from here. I want you to see my feet. We're not gonna go from here and you wanna go right away. We're just moving back enough weight so we can connect, and then all of my weight is forward so I can immediately start standing up.
Okay, I wasn't going forward until I started to stand up, but you're forward already.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to think about this as a connection. So if you were going to connect to somebody, your weight wouldn't be back, right? You wouldn't be connecting to someone and all your weight's back here. You would connect. Yes. And then you would stand up. Okay.
Plus, it's a lot easier to bring your back foot forward when most of your weight is already closer to the front foot.
Exactly.
Torso and legs, yeah.
If you already have some weight forward, it's going to make standing up a lot easier. And what else? Breathing. Don't forget to breathe as you stand up, okay? Let's do it one more time. So left foot forward, right arm's punching. Move back your weight. Turn, connect out, weight is forward. Shift to stand up. Double ward off arms, heel, kick, bend the knee. Good. Man, I love seeing everyone's pretty arms. It's awesome. Okay, how do we feel about this? Good. Okay, so let's talk about the next movement because we're going to work on this today, but then we're also going to work on it next week because we have left and right sides of this strike tiger movement, okay? I'm going to do it in the normal direction because you can actually see what's going on, and then we'll talk about the details, okay? So we've done our kick, our arms are out, our leg is up. We're going to sink down, we step on one line, our left arm comes across. As it gets to the end, we turn and look. One arm circles down, one to the stomach area, we make two fists, okay? Strike tiger. Yes, we'll talk about the arms a lot. So the footwork is very important. I'm gonna turn the other direction from this way, okay? So if I had kicked towards you, I did my kick, I bent my knee. When we sit down, we wanna step on one line this way, okay? So technically I'm kind of stepping in front of my foot, but both feet are on a train track of parallel, okay? They're both to the corner, but we're not stepping to the side, okay? We're stepping in front. Do you see how you can't see my other foot? This is why I'm demoing this way. Because then we shift our weight and we're gonna step out into a normal bow stance. But that transition step is what's hard, okay? So if we go to the normal direction, we stand up, our right leg is up. When we sink down, we're gonna step one line. Okay, so look down, make sure both of your feet are going to the corner direction. You don't want to be here. Can you see the difference if you look at your screen of this is where I want to be? This is not correct. We want one line, both feet to corner. Good. Stand back up. We're going to do the next part. We'll add it on.
Cheryl,
So
is that stepping, is it kind of shoulder width or is it wider than that?
It's wider than shoulder width. If I was stepping shoulder width, it would be here.
Okay.
So this is going to be almost like a normal bow step stance, except you're on one line. Okay, so if we stand up from our kick, we sink down and we step, we touch with the heel, the weight moves into our right leg, we draw our left leg in, and then we step forward for a bow stance.
We do draw our left leg in.
Yes.
Okay.
Typically, the rule of thumb is that whenever we're doing these movements, if I'm here, I'm not going to bring my leg across. Okay, we're not going to go across to a bow stance. We have to draw in to redirect and come out. Okay, so we never want to swing from the side. Does that make sense, Marion? Okay. All right. So let's do it again. I'm going to do it to face you so you can see the footwork. We're standing up. We're then going to sink down, stepping to the corner direction. So see how it is on your screen? See how you can't see both feet? That's what we're going for. Then when you shift forward, draw your left foot in, but then step straight out, normal bow stance. Good. Does everyone get that? That is probably one of the difficult transition steps. It's very hard to understand through the camera, especially, which angle we're going. So think about it as one line. Okay, your feet are on one line this direction. They're both to the angle. We don't want to have them like this or like this. One line. Okay, let's do it again. So from our kick, if I'm going the normal direction, my left foot is to corner, my right knee's to straight, my legs tucked in, toes are pointing down. I'm going to sink my weight down, touch with my heel, maybe look down and check where your foot is. Move your weight to your right leg, draw in, step out, bow stance, straight direction. How did we do? Did we end up in a nice bow stance? Not as many thumbs up, but we're getting there. Okay, are we ready to talk about the arms? Okay, so the arm movement, I'm just gonna do the arms. So we're doing our kick. Now what's gonna happen, I'm looking this way to make a point. Our left arm is going to come across. Fingertips point to the forearm center. So it's literally just coming across into a ward-off arm, and then we look. This is why I'm doing this. So we're looking over our right palm. This is where we kicked. We're gonna stay looking over our right palm until our left arm comes across all the way, and then we look to the new direction with our bow stance. Good. Now, how are we doing with our ward-off arm? Do we have space? So we don't want to be collapsed. We want to have a nice ward-off arm. Good. That's beautiful. Elbows down. Make sure to relax your elbows and shoulders. When we close off our arms like this, all the energy gets caught. Bend your elbows, the shoulders go down. Yes, that's beautiful. Okay, so from here, what happens is our left arm, we're just going to talk about that, comes down and it comes up, and at the last moment makes a fist. Okay, good. So this is going to feel, it's the opposite arm, but we know white crane spreads its wings. That arm movement that we have, that is what this should feel like on the other side, okay? So from our kicking arms, we come across into ward off, we look, our left arm circles down, it keeps an open palm until the last moment and makes a fist. Good. The right arm's a little bit easier. The right arm just stays here, and then it comes down and across. So we're showing blocking, but then we make a fist at the last moment. So we come from our seated position. Then think about using your palm. So if somebody was coming and punching to your center, you would push them away. So think about pushing away. Good. Yes, that's what we're going for. But there's two meanings here. So we have to include the fact that we're pushing, but we could also be punching. So at the last moment, we make a fist and we rotate our palm so that it's facing up. So we come across and then we make a fist to show punching. Good. And it ends up about stomach level. So there's two meanings with the movement here, and knowing the meaning is what's going to help you understand why we keep our palms open until the last moment, okay? So we talked about the right arm. That's a little bit easier to understand. So the right arm, we talked about showing the blocking, right? So if we're blocking, this arm is going to be punching, okay? So you would block and punch to your opponent's head. Good. Very nice. The other meaning is if you connected to someone this way and you took their arm down. So you pulled them to the side, but then you would punch to their side body. So think about if your arm was out here and somebody took it and swung it out to the side, now you have all of this exposed, right? So that's why this fist is at your stomach level, sitting upright, because you would be hitting someone's side body. So again, two meanings. We can block and punch, or we can pull and punch. And when we pull and punch, our arm isn't going to necessarily get to this position. It's going to be more out to the side. But the meaning is still there within the movement. Does everyone understand the meanings? Good. This is very important for this movement, or at least I feel like it really helped me in being able to understand what I was supposed to be doing, okay? So if we put it together, just the first portion of it, we would be in our kicking arms, okay? As we sit down, we're gonna sit, and then our arm's gonna come across, and it finishes and we step. Let's just do that again. So the arms are out, we're in our kick, okay? We're looking out for our right palm. We're gonna sink down and step. So our heel is touching. As our weight comes forward, our arm's gonna circle across. Right as it gets to the end, we're gonna step for our bow stance and look. Now everyone check your elbows, relax your arms. Good. Now from here, left arm circles down, weight is slowly moving forward, and we make two fists. So we want to make sure that everything arrives together, okay? So I'm going to show you from this direction. I'm going to be facing away from you for just a moment, but I want to talk about the arms, okay? So we're in our kick. We sit down, our left arm comes across, and we look. As we circle, watch my legs. They're very slowly moving. So everything arrives together. Now, when we do this, we want to make sure we have a Tai Chi pole. We don't want to have one arm here, one arm here. We're striking tigers, so we don't want to have little arms, right? Big arms, shoulders are down still, but see the line that's connected here? That's what we're going for. Now everyone has their camera on, so you might be able to see yourself too. Or use a mirror. Yes. Good. It's very important. Tai Chi pole here, as if you had a pole. Forward, back, little, large, and in line. Good. Okay, let's try and put it together again. So left foot's corner, right knee's up, arms are out. We're looking over our right palm. Sink your weight down, touch with the heel. Weight moves forward, left arm comes across, step out and look. Move your legs very slowly here. Big circle with the left arm. Right arm's coming over. Last second, make your fists. Good. Woo. It looks pretty from my view. I love when you guys smile because I can tell you're laughing, but I can't hear you because you're muted. So any questions? We'll do it a couple of more times. And then next week, we're going to review this again because there's a left side and a right side. So we're going to be doing the same thing on the other side, and it's going to give us an opportunity to link them together and define the similarities through other bits of the form, okay? So one more time, no questions? All right, let's do it. Right heel kick. Find a nice corner position with your foot, knees up. Arms are out, looking over your right palm. Sink down, touch and step. We're gonna stop here. Check your footwork, look down, literally look down. Are we on one line, both feet are to corner? Adjust if necessary. Okay, let's go to our next stop point. Move your weight forward, left arm comes across, touch with your heel, look. How's your ward off arm? Are you too closed off? Do you have a nice ward off? Your right palm still to the straight direction. Now let's go to the end position. Shift your weight forward very slowly with your legs, showing two meanings by making fists at the last moment. Now here, check your body position. This one's very easy to have yourself tilted to the side. We want to make sure we're in a standard bow stance. So since we're kind of doing this, it's easy to tilt to the side, right? We want to make sure we're up and down. We don't want to be tilted one way or the other. Make sure you're in a normal centered bow stance. Good. Ready to do it again?
Can we do it from the right after
Parry, block, and punch?
lunch so I get the kick?
I was just going to say that. Yep. Let's do it from parry, block, and punch. All right. Left leg forward, right arm's punching. Move back your weight, turning to the corner, connecting with ward off, weights forward. Rotate the arm, connect, stand up, heel kick. Bend the knee. Sinking your weight down, touch with the heel, shift your weight, left arm comes across, look and step, both arms circle, striking tiger. Good. All right, let's do it one more time from our punch. I'll move back a little bit so you can see my feet. Left leg forward, right fist. Move back, show ward off. Rotate your arm, open your fist, stand up. Heel kick, bend the knee. Sinking down, touch with the heel, stepping on one line. Left arm comes across, step out and look. Two circles, legs are moving very slowly, fists at the end. Good. So remember, when you do a fist, we're flat fisted on the bottom, fist side points up for our bottom fist. For our upper fist, fist eye points down, still flat fist. So one's each direction. Good. Yep.
And your bottom fist is in your middle of your torso or a little bit lower?
Yes, stomach level.
Okay.
Stomach-ish, because you got to think you're hitting side body. So about here would be appropriate. And this should feel like white crane, or if you've done the third section, fair lady, it's a similar feeling.
So when I follow the steps and I'm looking, my right arm is still pointing at 9 o'clock before I draw my left arm over in a ward off. I can't really get it to point to my arm because there are different angles. So you know, like if my arm was turned, my right arm was pointing toward the corner, yes, it could be angled, but I can't.
Well, yeah, it's a general statement. We're not going to be like this though. So see
Okay.
how if this arm is straight and this arm is straight, it's still a ward off. So
Okay.
it's kind of that direction.
Okay.
It's not going to be like this. See the difference of like if it's pointing this way versus
Well, yeah,
pointing straight versus here?
I have to pull it over a lot, which means I'm crossing my body to get it to point.
Never
to my
cross.
arm.
Never
Okay.
come across this. Hold on. Never come across this way. Sorry, my shoulder's still acting up. When you do a ward off arm, keep your shoulder in its socket, okay?
Okay.
Don't do this.
Okay.
Don't close off. What is it you use, Kelly? Apples or oranges or what? Some sort of fruit of some sort. You want to think about keeping this open, okay?
Apple.
Yeah, you would smash it if you closed your arm, right? Or you can think about something soft like a peach that if you like closed your arm, you would be juicy. So think about it like that, okay? Whenever we do a ward off arm, it's the same. This is why I want to include it in the warm-ups, because in the warm-ups, we wouldn't like cross our arms and go like this, right? We would still keep it in this position. So even here, keep it in this position. Don't come across like this. Relaxed. Okay?
Cheryl?
Good. Yeah.
Cheryl, when you do parry block and punch, is your left foot turned to the corner at that point? I had mine going straight forward, and then when I got to the right heel kick, it was still forward. But then when you went to the next step, it was at an angle, and I was like, how did you get there?
So when we end parry, block, and punch, we're straight. Okay,
Yes.
our right foot's corner, our left foot's straight. When we shift back our weight, this is when we turn our foot to the corner.
Okay.
So we go from here and we turn our foot to the corner, and then it's already to the corner when we stand up.
Okay, so shift back, that's when you turn your foot. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, bye, Veronica. Any other questions? We're going to practice one more time. All right, let's do it. So from parry, block, and punch.
Call off that turn.
Left foot forward, right arm punching. Move back your weight. Ward off arm, left foot to the corner direction. Weight is forward. Rotate your right arm, open your fist, stand up. Lift your toes, heel, kick, bend the knee. Sink your weight down, right foot goes to the corner, stepping on one line. Left arm comes across into ward off position, step out and look. Left arm circles down, right arm's pushing across, make two fists at the end. Good. All right, great work today, everyone. That is one of the harder movements, so we'll spend some time reviewing next week, and then we're gonna work on the other side, okay? So just expect to be working on Strike Tiger the whole class. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure having you in class.
Oh, this way.
Thank you, Cheryl. Great class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Great
Thank you,
class.
Cheryl. That was great.
Thank you.